The planet Virelia had never seen war before. Its skies were always blue, its crystals always glowing softly. Peace was its nature. But that peace was broken the moment Earth ships entered orbit, burning clouds, cracking energy shields, and shouting demands over all frequencies. The humans had not come to conquer. They had come searching for something. Water, energy, life. But something else came with them. Chaos. In the city of Shenever. Deep beneath the glowing caves, an ancient species lived in hiding. The Virelians called them the Thirsted Ones. Others called them Vampirari. Very few knew the truth. They were not monsters. They were survivors. And they drank only when starving. One of them was now running. Her name was Kirel. Small, fragile-looking, with silver skin and large, violet eyes. Her long hair flowed behind her like threads of ink. And right now, her breathing was sharp. Her body shook. She was dying. Her kind needed blood, not just any, but life-rich blood. And the fighting had made food scarce. Too many wounded, too many dying, too much fear in the air. Kirel slipped between two burning buildings, her black cloak nearly catching fire. She coughed. Her vision blurred. Suddenly shouts. Heavy boots. She pressed herself against the crystal wall, her claws barely scratching its surface. Voices echoed. Sector 6 is clear. Move to the central alley. She didn't understand the language, but she felt the threat in their voices. Soldiers, not Virelians. Different scent. Strong scent. Human. She swallowed. A shadow passed. Then another. Then silence. She turned to run but tripped. Her knees hit the hard ground. Her hands trembled as she crawled into a tunnel of rubble, half buried, half hidden. She could not move further. Everything spun. Her lips were dry. Her throat burned. She needed blood. Now, but there was nothing left, except a sudden noise. Kirel tensed. A single figure stepped into the tunnel. Tall, armored, human. Helmet removed. Held a glowing tablet in one hand, scanning. Then he paused, looked down, and saw her. The alien girl's silver skin shimmered even in the dirt. Her lips were cracked, her fangs visible. Her eyes glowed weakly, half closed. The human blinked. He didn't raise his weapon. Instead, he crouched. Hey! Can you understand me? Kirel tried to speak, but only a whisper came. Leave. But he didn't. He set the tablet down and slowly reached for something from his belt. Water, a medical injector. Her eyes flared in panic. She hissed. He stopped. Whoa. I'm not here to hurt you, he said gently. Her vision cleared a little. She could see his face now. Human male. Brown hair. Green eyes. Calm voice. Why wasn't he running? Why wasn't he shooting? Kirel tried to speak again. Her words were broken. Thirst? He leaned closer. Water? I have. No. Her voice was hoarse. Not water. He stared. Then he saw. The fangs, the trembling hands, the nearly gray skin. It clicked. Blood? He asked. She looked down, ashamed. Are you going to hurt me if I say yes? He asked again, but softer. No, she whispered. Never. Not kill, just need. He looked around. No one else. No backup. No threat, just a dying girl. He slowly pulled off his glove, then rolled up his sleeve. Veins visible. You sure? This will help? Her eyes widened. He moved closer. She backed away. I'm offering, he said, not forcing. But if you're gonna die, and I can stop it. Kirel stared in shock. No one had ever offered before. No one had trusted. Her kind. No trick? She asked. He smiled slightly. You think I'd crawl into a rubble pit to trick you? A soft laugh escaped her lips. A weak, dry sound. She crawled forward, shaking. I will take only a little, she said. He nodded. Go ahead. She took his wrist with both hands, so gently it surprised him. Then her fangs lowered and bit. He flinched but didn't cry. Out. She drank only for seconds. Then pulled back. Gasping. Color returned to her skin. Her eyes lit up like moons. She breathed deeper. Thank you, she whispered. He nodded, wrapping his arm. Feeling better? Kirel wiped her lips, still stunned. Why? Would a human offer blood? He shrugged. Guess I'm not like most humans. But in the distance, others were coming. Loud voices. Shouting again. Kirel's eyes widened. In fear, they will kill me, she said. He looked toward the sound. Then back to her. Not if I say I found nothing. Kirel stared at him like he was from another world. Then he said something even more strange. Name's Carter. What's yours? Kirel. Well, Kirel, Carter said, standing and helping her up, let's get you out of here before my squad shows up. And so began an alliance no one expected. Between a dying vampire alien girl and the human who gave his blood to save her. Kirel's legs were still weak, but her hunger was gone. For the first time in days, her mind felt clear. She stood beside Carter, the human soldier who had offered his own blood to save her. She still couldn't believe it. No one had ever shown her kindness, not even her own kind after the war started. Outside the collapsed tunnel, the sound of boots echoed louder. They're close, Carter said. We have to move. Fast. Kirel hesitated. Your people will not accept me. He looked at her seriously. That's why we're not going to them. She blinked. Then where? I know a place. Old drop bunker, 2 levels down. Quiet. Safe. At least for now. Kirel nodded slowly. Her legs trembled, but Carter moved beside her and offered his hand. She stared at it for a moment, then took it. Together, they slipped through a cracked wall into a narrow corridor lit by flickering green lights. The air was thick with dust and smoke. Fires burned in the distance, eating away at the once beautiful Verelian city. Why are humans here? Kirel asked, voice still weak. Carter didn't answer immediately. He stepped over debris and helped her through a broken arch. We were told this planet had resources we needed. Crystals, water, bioenergy, but no one told us people lived here. Kirel stopped. So, they lied to you? Maybe not exactly, he said. But they didn't care enough to ask what the cost would be. Kirel's heart sank. She had always feared this. She and the other vampirari had been hiding for centuries, long before humans came. But war had pushed everyone to the surface. A sudden explosion shook the ground. Flames burst from the alley behind them. Kirel screamed and grabbed Carter's arm. He steadied her. That was close, he muttered. They're bombing nearby sectors. I can't run like this, Kirel gasped. Then we hide. He looked around quickly and spotted a broken grate nearby. Behind it, darkness. In there, he pointed. It's a crawl shaft. Kirel nodded. She dropped to her knees and crawled in first. Carter followed, sealing the grate behind them. Shaft was narrow and pitch black. Only Kirel's glowing eyes could see anything. She guided them through bends and curves until they reached a hollow chamber beneath the old transport station. Here, the air was cooler, silent, safe. They dropped. Down carefully. Kirel leaned against the wall, panting. Her skin had regained some of its glow. Her hands no longer shook. You okay now? Carter asked. Yes, she whispered. Thanks to you, he smiled. Good. Rest for a bit. I'll check the scanner. Kirel watched him with quiet eyes. As he pulled out his small device, tapping it, she wondered what kind of human he really was. Kindness like his was rare, especially during war. Why did you really help me? She asked softly. He looked up. You needed help. That was enough. But I'm not like you. Exactly, he said, putting the scanner down. I'm a soldier. I see pain, fear, death every day. But today I saw someone who didn't want to hurt anyone, just survive. Kirel lowered her eyes. Most would still call me a monster. Well, I don't see one. She looked at him again. Slowly, a small smile appeared on her lips, but the piece was short. Suddenly, the scanner beeped twice. Carter's smile vanished. He picked it up. They're searching this level now, he said. We can't stay long. Kirel tensed. Where do we go? There's an old evac tunnel goes under the city. I found it on a map last week. Leads to the outer fields. Will we make it? Carter met her gaze. Only if we move now. He helped her to her feet again. This time, Kirel stood stronger. She nodded. I'll follow. Together, they exited the hidden chamber and ran through the shadows, using ruined corridors and fallen debris to stay out of sight. The sound of gunfire echoed from above. Searchlights. Scanned from drones flying overhead. Carter moved with precision. Kirel moved like a ghost beside him. Then a shout. Hey! Movement southeast tunnel. They were spotted. Run! Carter shouted. Kirell didn't need to be told twice. They sprinted down the tunnel as footsteps thundered behind them. Red lights flashed. Laser shots flew past their heads. One struck the wall, sending a blast of heat near Kirell's side. She stumbled. Carter grabbed her hand. Don't stop. They turned sharply and dove into a service hatch. Carter slammed it shut and activated the lock. Breathing hard, they sat in silence. Outside, footsteps passed. Shouts faded. For now, they were safe. Kirel looked at him, her chest rising and falling quickly. You risked everything, she said. He gave a tired smile. Yeah, well, seems I do that a lot. And once again, the human had saved her. But this time, Kirel felt something new in her chest, a feeling she had no name for. Something was beginning between them. The air inside the old maintenance tunnel was stale. Pipes hissed above their heads, and faint vibrations from distant explosions rumbled through the walls. Carter and Kirel sat in silence. They were safe at least for now. Carter checked his arm. The bite mark had stopped bleeding. It looked strange clean, not infected. In fact, the skin around it looked healthier. You healed it, he said, looking at her. Kirel tilted her head. Only a little, my kind's bite. It helps. Strange, Carter muttered, but I'll take it. He sat down, leaning against the wall. His back ached and his legs were tired. Kirel sat across from him, her silver skin glowing faintly in the dark. You still thirsty? He asked. She shook her head. Not now. You gave me enough. I meant water. She blinked, then smiled softly. Oh no, fine. They both laughed quietly. Just a little. Just enough to forget the war, the fire, the fear. Then silence returned. Carter stared at her for a moment. Your people, they live underground? We used to, Kirel said. Before the war. Before your people arrived. I didn't want this war, Carter replied. None of my team did. We were told this planet was uninhabited. A resource world. Kirel's eyes darkened. Varelia was never empty. We lived in shadows because the surface hated us. Even now, I must hide to survive. He lowered his gaze. I'm sorry. Kirel tilted her head again. Why do? You care? You're human. I don't care because I'm human, he answered. I care because I'm not heartless. Kirel looked down at her hands. You're the first outsider who treated me like I'm alive. Carter smiled. You didn't kill me when you had the chance. That counts for something. She laughed, a soft, strange sound. Then she grew serious. Why did you really let me feed on you? She asked. He paused, then said, because I saw someone who was afraid, starving, and alone. And I'd hate myself if I walked away. Kirill's heart beat faster. Not from hunger, but something else. Something warmer. She didn't understand it yet, but she felt it when she looked at him. He stood and walked to a control panel. This tunnel leads to an old station outside the city. If we can reach it, there might be a working shuttle. Kirill's eyes widened. We can leave the planet? Carter nodded. That's the plan, but your people will hunt you. I've gone off mission before, he said. Wouldn't be the first time. But why risk it for me? He didn't answer right away. He just looked at her. You're not what I expected, he said. You're more. Kirill's eyes glowed brighter. Just then, the panel beeped. Carter's eyes narrowed. Trouble? Motion sensor, he muttered. Something's moving above us. Kirill stood quickly. Search teams? Could be. Drones, or worse. He pressed a few buttons, rerouting power. We need to move before they scan this level. She followed him as they moved deeper into the tunnel. Pipes dripped overhead. Strange creatures scurried along the edges. But neither of them slowed. They reached a rusted door. Carter shoved it open. The next chamber was massive, an old transit hub. Empty train pods lay on broken rails. Vines and glowing moss covered the walls. The silence was deep, broken only by faint hums of dying machines. We can rest here, Carter said. Kirill sat on a platform, curling her legs under her. How long will it take to reach the edge? Maybe another hour. But we'll need to be careful. One wrong noise and a loud clank echoed from the tunnel behind them. Carter raised his rifle. Kirill froze. Then dash movement. Not soldiers. A creature. It slithered from the dark lawn. Insect-like, with glowing blue eyes and armored plates. Not human. Not Varelian. Mutabeast, Kirill whispered. Twisted from war radiation. The creature screeched and charged. Carter fired. The blast hit its side, but it kept coming. Kirill leapt to the side. We can't kill it, not like this. Carter aimed again. Then how? Kirill's eyes flashed. It smells blood. My kind used to lure them. Distract them. She looked at Carter's arm. No, he said firmly. You're not feeding again. I'm not. But I need to look like I did. She ran to him and tore a piece of his shirt, wiping it across the old bite mark. Then she tossed the bloody cloth toward the far tunnel. The creature twisted, sniffed, then followed the scent away from them. Carter blinked. That was clever. She smiled weakly. Old survival trick. They stared at each other. The danger had passed, but their hearts beat fast. You saved me again, Carter said. Now we're even, she replied, but something had changed. In those tense moments, they weren't just allies anymore. They were beginning to trust each other, and in this dying world, that trust might be the only thing that keeps them alive. The old transit hub fell quiet again. The mutant beast had vanished into the dark, following the trail of blood-stained cloth. Carter and Kirill stood still, hearts pounding, breaths heavy. That was close, Carter whispered. Kirell nodded. Her eyes still glowed from the stress. Too close. He wiped sweat from his forehead and looked around. The mossy walls and broken rails reminded him of old subway tunnels back on Earth. Everything here was falling apart, just like the war above. How far is the exit now? She asked softly. Maybe 40 minutes. We keep moving and stay quiet. Kirill followed him as they stepped over fallen beams and under dangling cables. The air was cooler now, but thick with silence. Only the faint hum of underground machines remained. Tell me something, Carter said, trying to ease the tension. Why does your kind drink blood? Kirill hesitated, then spoke. We do not feed to kill. We take what we need, never more. Our blood is weak. We need life-rich energy to survive. It's not evil, it's biology. Carter nodded. Makes sense. Like how humans need oxygen. Yes, she said, but others never understood. They feared us, called us monsters. You're not a monster, Carter said quietly. I've seen real monsters. You're not one of them. Kirill looked at him with soft eyes, but said nothing. They walked in silence for a while. Then Carter suddenly stumbled. His hand went to the wall, breathing heavy. Kirill rushed to him. Are you hurt? He shook his head. Just tired. Haven't eaten in a day. Lost blood. Guess it's catching up. She frowned, guilt flashing in her eyes. I'm sorry, she said. You gave when you didn't have enough. I'll be fine, he smiled weakly. Kirill's hands trembled slightly. Then she made a choice. I can help, she whispered. He raised an eyebrow. How? My kind. We can give back. Not blood but strength. We call it return flow. It's rare. But it can heal, if shared. Carter looked unsure. Is it safe? She stepped closer. Only if you trust me. He looked into her glowing eyes, calm, kind, strong. He nodded. I do. Kirill knelt beside him. She placed one hand over his heart, the other on his wrist. Her skin pulsed with warmth, like soft lightning. Then a strange sensation flowed through him. Heat, light, calm. His heart beat steadier. His breathing eased. When she pulled back, Carter opened his eyes. I feel better. Kirill smiled. It worked. Thank you, he whispered. There. Eyes met. Then something shifted. Their bond formed in fear, now deepened through trust. Carter had given blood. Kirill had given life. Two strangers from different stars. Now linked. Suddenly, static buzzed from Carter's belt. He froze. Pulled out the device. A voice came through. Unit 3 to base, no sign of the defector. Search continues. Kirill stepped back, her body tense. They're looking for you? Carter nodded. They think I ran. She frowned. Why would they care? I broke orders. Help the enemy. Fed a wanted alien, he said with a bitter smile. To them, I'm a traitor now. Kirill's face hardened. You saved a life. That isn't betrayal. Not to me, but to command? I'm done. Then we both have no place in this war. He looked at her. We could run, she said. Together, he considered it. Where would we go? There's a moon, she whispered. Ilara. My kind. Fled there centuries ago. Few know its path. If we reach the shuttle, I can guide us. He stared. A new life? No war. No commands. Just freedom? He nodded. Then let's make it to that shuttle. They began moving again, faster now. But they didn't notice the small drone hovering high above them, silent, watching, recording. Miles away, on a human command ship, a screen flickered. A stern general watched the footage. Confirm identity, he ordered. Yes, sir. That's Carter Voss, and an alien female. The general's face twisted. Prepared to intercept. Back underground, Carter and Kirill reached the end of the tunnel. Ahead lay a steel door, sealed but flickering with broken lights. Kirill placed her hand on a panel. Old Varelian tech. I can open it. The panel blinked. Her touch lit up the screen. Slowly, the door groaned open. Behind it, an ancient launch chamber. Dusty, cold, but intact. And at the center, a small escape shuttle. Carter stared. You weren't lying. I never do, she replied softly. He smiled. Then the chamber shook. A siren howled above. They found us? Carter said. Kirill's eyes widened. Can we launch? We'll try. Together, they ran toward the shuttle. But in the shadows, soldiers dropped silently from the roof. Weapons drawn. Surrounded. Kirell stepped in front of Carter. And her fangs showed once more. Asterisk soldiers dropped from above 6, maybe more. Their black armor gleamed under the broken shuttle bay lights. They surrounded Carter and Kirel without a word, rifles raised, fingers ready on the triggers. Kirel stepped in front of Carter, her body low, protective like a wild animal shielding its young. Her violet eyes glowed and her fangs were fully exposed. She didn't hiss. She didn't scream. She was silent. Calm. Deadly. Carter's voice broke the silence. Stand down. I'm Sergeant Carter Voss. This is my decision. The soldiers didn't lower their weapons. One stepped forward. His faceplate slid back, revealing a familiar face, Lieutenant Marin. You're under arrest, Carter, he said coldly. For treason, enemy collaboration, and going rogue. She's not the enemy, Carter snapped. She saved me. I saved her. That's it, Marin sneered. You gave her your blood, Carter. You bonded. You're compromised. Carter stepped beside Kirel now. You don't understand. Move away from the alien. No. The rune TENCD.KIREL whispered, let me fight. I can stop them. No, Carter said quickly. If you kill them, it's over. We can't win. They will kill you. Her voice was sharp, worried. Carter's hand went to his belt. He tapped a control. A small device on his boot hummed. I won't let them kill either of us, he said. Marin shouted. You have 5 seconds to surrender. Kirel looked at Carter. What are you doing? Buying us a chance. 4. Carter pulled something small from his vest, an old plasma flare. 3. Kirel grabbed his hand. That'll blind you too. 2. He smirked. Close your eyes. He tossed the flare at their feet and shouted, now! Flash boom. The room exploded in white light. The soldiers screamed. Kirel's sharp senses allowed her to move first. She dashed forward, silent and fast, knocking 2 rifles aside. Her claws swiped, hitting armor but not flesh. She didn't kill, she only pushed. Carter tackled one soldier from behind, punching the air out of him. The confusion worked. Just enough. They reached the shuttle. Carter slammed his hand on the panel. Startup sequence. Kirel jumped in. Beside him, fingers dancing over controls. The shuttle's engine coughed, then glowed. Outside, the soldiers recovered. They're launching. Marin yelled, shoot the thrusters. Gunfire erupted. Sparks flew as rounds hit the metal. Kirel gritted her teeth. Shield's not online yet. Carter took the co-pilot seat. We've got one chance. The engine roared. The shuttle began to lift. Soldiers fired. One blast pierced the side panel. Smoke filled the cabin. Kirel winced as sparks hit her arm. Carter yanked a cord loose, rerouting power. With a loud roar, the shuttle launched upward, scraping the hangar roof, blasting out into the sky. They made it, but barely. Above the clouds, the stars returned, calm, silent. Kirel sat back, her body shaking. We escaped. Carter nodded, bleeding from a cut above his eye. Yeah, barely. She turned to him. You didn't have to fight them. He looked at her. Yes, I did. Why? His answer was simple. Because I believe in you. Kirel's lips trembled. Not from thirst, but something deeper. Her people had been feared for generations, called beasts, shadows, parasites. But this human? He stood for her. You could have died, she whispered. So could you. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Carter asked, where's this moon you mentioned? Ilara? Kirel wiped her face, pulled up a navigation pad, and entered coordinates. Golden path lit up the screen. There. We follow this line through the Harnick Drift. 3 hours. Good, Carter said. We'll rest, patch the damage, and keep low. Kirel watched him. They'll hunt us now. I know. They'll call you a traitor. I know that too. Then, why aren't you afraid? He turned to her, serious now. Because I found something worth running to. Not just running away from. Kirel blinked. Me? He nodded. You? Silence fell again, but not heavy like before. This time it was soft, peaceful, filled with meaning. Kirill leaned closer, looking at his arm, the one she had bitten. Days ago, the mark had faded, but a bond remained. She placed her hand on it gently. I won't forget, she said. Neither will I, he replied. But far behind them, deep in space, the human fleet had already locked onto their course. Ships moved silently. Drones flew ahead. The chase was only beginning. Asterisk. 3 hours passed. The stars outside the shuttle shifted as it moved silently through the Harnack Drift, an empty region of glowing blue dust and ancient wreckage. Carter sat in the pilot's seat, eyes heavy with fatigue. Kirill sat beside him, her legs folded under her, quietly watching the stars. We're close, she said softly. Carter looked up. How can you tell? My people feel Ilara's pull, she whispered. It's like home calls us. Ahead, a soft purple glow appeared beyond the dark haze. A crescent moon spun slowly around a dying gas giant. Silver mists curled across its surface. The sight was beautiful, peaceful, far from war. That's it, Kirill said. That's Ilara. Carter stared at it. Looks untouched. It is. The galaxy forgot it. The shuttle's alarm suddenly beeped. Carter. Check the panel. We've been followed. Kirill's heart sank. Already? Just one drone, he said. Recon class. But if it sends a signal, they'll come? Carter stood. Can you fly alone for a few minutes? Kirill nodded. What are you going to do? He opened a hidden panel and pulled out a Faldin long-range disruptor rifle. I'm going outside. What? That's crazy. I'll float to the top hull. From there I can hit the drone before it transmits. Kirill grabbed his hand. You'll be exposed. He looked at her calmly. It's worth it. She didn't let go. Her silver eyes searched his face. Why do you keep risking your life for me? Carter smiled faintly. Because when I look at you, I don't see an alien. I see someone who should have never been hunted. She lowered her head, then whispered, Come back safe. He nodded once. Minutes later, Carter was outside, magnet boots clinking on the hull. The stars were cold and sharp around him. The drone hovered in the distance, barely visible, blinking red. He aimed carefully, took a deep breath, and fired. Shot tore through space, silent but direct. The drone exploded in a flash of light. Carter smiled. Then the blast shockwave hit the shuttle. Inside, Kirill was thrown from her seat. The ship tilted hard. Warning lights flashed. Carter! She screamed, grabbing the control stick. Outside, Carter slammed against the hull, sliding dangerously toward the edge. His boots lost magnetic grip. He slipped. Kirill's heart froze, but at the last second, his hand caught a railing. He dangled. There, breathing hard. Inside, Kirill grabbed the emergency control and hit override. The side door hissed open. Carter! She shouted again. With effort, he climbed back inside. His arms were shaking. His face was pale. Kirill rushed to him and held his shoulders. Are you okay? He nodded weakly. Yeah. That was closer than I liked. She hugged him. Tight. And for a long time, he blinked. Surprised. Then he wrapped his arms around her too. For a few moments, there was no war. No blood. No escape. Just the warmth of two lives who had saved each other. Again and again, they landed gently on the surface of Ilara. The air outside was breathable, cool, and glowing with mist. Strange crystal trees lit the ground with soft light. The moon looked untouched, quiet, sacred. Kirill stepped outside first. Her feet touched the soft soil, and she closed her eyes. I haven't been here since I was a child, she said. Carter joined her, carrying a small pack. You sure it's safe? She nodded. My people left signs. Hiding places. They may still be here. Together, they walked through the trees. Time seemed to move slower. Each step felt like healing. Soon, they reached a large hill covered in crystal moss. Kirill knelt and moved a stone aside. Beneath it, an old panel with a glowing symbol. She pressed her palm to it. The ground opened silently, revealing a hidden doorway. Carter raised an eyebrow. Impressive. Inside, the room glowed with soft blue light. A shelter, clean, warm, empty, but peaceful. They entered. The door closed behind them. For the first time since meeting, they were not running anymore. They were safe. Later, Carter sat near a small heat crystal while Kirill mixed powder into a bowl of glowing fruit. "This will help your strength," she said. He took a bite. "It's good." She smiled, sitting beside him. "You didn't have to come with me," she said. "You could have returned to your people. Saved yourself." "I don't belong with them anymore," Carter said. "They fight for power. I'm fighting for something better." She looked at him with quiet eyes. "You saved me, again and again. Now, I want to save you." He laughed softly. "I think you already did." She leaned against his shoulder. And for the first time in her life, she didn't feel like a monster. She felt love. But far above them, hidden beyond the drift, a human warship waited silently. It had traced the last signal before the drone exploded, and it had locked onto Ilara. Carter awoke to the soft hum of Ilara's shelter walls. The crystals around him pulsed with gentle light. Outside, the moon's mist drifted like quiet waves. For the first time in weeks, he felt warm, rested, safe. Kirill was already awake, sitting near the entrance. Her silver hair glowed softly, and her violet eyes watched the sky. She looked calm, but her hands were clenched. He stepped beside her. "What's wrong?" She pointed upward. A dark shadow hovered beyond the clouds. A single human ship, silent, still, but watching. "They found us," she whispered. Carter's jaw tightened. "They're waiting." She turned to him. "Why haven't they fired?" "They're unsure. Maybe they want me to surrender. Or maybe they're planning something worse." She stood. "If they come, I'll fight." "No," Carter said firmly. "We've come too far to lose everything now. But what can we do?" Carter looked at the small panel he brought from the shuttle, still active. It could connect to the warship. "A transmission. I'll talk to them," he said. Kirill grabbed his arm. "They won't listen. I have to try." Minutes later, Carter activated the panel. Static crackled, then a voice. "This is Commander Jurin of the HS Restra, Sergeant Voss. You are ordered to return immediately." "Stand down," Carter replied. "I won't." "Sergeant, you are a decorated soldier. Don't throw your life away." "I'm not throwing it away. I'm building a new one." Silence. Then Jurin said, "You've bonded with the alien." "Yes, and she saved my life." "She's dangerous." "No, you are. You attacked this planet. You called it uninhabited, but you never looked. You never listened. We have protocols. Protocols don't protect lives. People do. She's not a threat. She's proof that we can understand each other." Jurin's voice lowered. "You're forcing my hand." "You'll do what you have to," Carter said. "But so will I." He ended the call. Inside the shelter, Kirill looked at him with wide eyes. "What did you say?" "I told them the truth," he said. "Now we wait." She stepped closer. "If they fire, we won't survive." "I know." She took his hand. "Then let us stand together." Carter looked at her. "Do your people bond for life?" She nodded. "We do." "Then I want that." Kirill's eyes filled with soft tears. "Even if we die?" "Especially if we live." And in the silence of the glowing moon, they embraced. But high above, on the warship, Commander Jurin watched the screen. He saw the human, the alien. There. Hands joined. No fear. No weapons. Just Love, his second officer spoke. Orders, sir? Jarn stared for a long time. Then, without a word, he shut the screen. Stand down, he said. No strike, no capture. The officer blinked. Sir, I said. Stand down. And the ship slowly turned away. On Ilara, Kirill and Carter stood outside, watching the sky. The dark shadow faded behind the clouds, vanishing like smoke. There. Leaving, she whispered. Carter nodded. They saw us. And they spared us. Kirill leaned into him. What now? We start over, he said. Here, with you, she smiled. A real smile, no fear. No sadness. Just hope. I'll show you how we live, she said. We'll build something better. Together, they walked through the glowing trees. The past was behind them. The war. The pain. The fear. Ahead was Ilara, a new beginning. A vampire girl and a human soldier, no longer enemies, no longer afraid, just two hearts. Bonded forever.